Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bourbon Note. I'm Greg.
I'm Ben.
And today, we're taking a flight of bourbon.
Exciting flight.
Exciting flight.
Yeah, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
So the main purpose of this video, the reason I want to do it, Early Times Bottled and Bond is one of my all-time favorite bourbons.
You have mentioned that a time or two or three or four.
It has crushed it in blind flights for me.
For you. And
yeah.
It's actually scored fairly well for me too, I will acknowledge.
It won our full Bottled and Bond bracket. So anyway, but it's being discontinued and it's not available in Minnesota. So it's a double whammy because I can't just go stock up on this. So Brown-Forman product. Brown-Forman sold this to Sazerac a couple of years ago.
That was good thinking.
But Sazerac bought out all the rest of their stock. And so they've been releasing it under Sazerac. The difference is you can tell the bottle's slightly different shaped, but the Early Times from Sazerac has a metal blue cap. And the Brown-Forman, still a screw top.
Okay.
Brown-Forman has the black plastic, so that's how you can tell them apart.
And these are fairly inexpensive, right?
25 bucks for a liter of it. It's maybe the best value in bourbon of all time.
They're easy to find in the states it's available, and it's not in Minnesota, but easy to find in lots of other places.
Correct. And so the first run from Sazerac people really complained about and hated when they first came out under the Sazerac name.
And we've not had that one yet.
We have not had that one yet. But then it sounds like they started getting better, and what I've seen on other channels and what we think may be the case, Sazerac bought out the existing stock and just wasn't blending it the way Brown-Forman was. Yeah. Maybe just taking, well, here, they're 4-year barrels, blend them up. Yeah. Meets the criteria for Bottled and Bond. Now, I also love Old Forester, and Old Forester happens to be very, very much in the same lane flavor profile as Early Times. So I wanted to do a comparison. Are these two proper replacements for Early Times Bottled Bond? Because eventually it's going to be Sazerac's distillate, and that may not be as good.
Yeah, it would be totally different. Whatever.
And again, not available for us to buy anyway. Now, you may be wondering why there's 4 glasses
here. Wait a minute, Ben, there's 4 glasses and only 3 bottles.
As per the usual, Greg threw a monkey wrench into this at the last minute and decided to add a 4th bottle to blind these. I don't know if we're looking for best or worst, just kind of seeing, like, are they similar enough, or is there a glaring standout? But there's something else in here, and I don't know what it is. He does.
So I will tell you the 4th glass, and I don't know which glass it is in, is a mystery bottle. Okay. It's in the same style, and I just leave it there. Okay. There are differences, right? So maybe not the same age, the same proof exactly, but I didn't throw a 1920 in there or something like that. It's like totally, just obscenely different.
This one does not smell like Brown-Forman.
Okay. And I have no idea which glasses you're in. So now at this point in the video, we're gonna probably do a little bit of fast forwarding because it gets to the point where we're not doing a lot of talking. We're actually just assessing back and forth, and we're gonna pick our favorite, least favorite. There's no loser in this flight. They're all really, really good bourbons.
Yeah, these are all, I love all of the, all 3 of these. I don't know what you put in here.
Yep.
Actually, okay, maybe it's not as off as I thought originally. But yeah, let's get into the nosing and the tasting here. We're probably gonna fast forward, like Greg just said, and then if something cool happens, we'll drop in.
Yeah. Okay, Ben, we've been through them one time. We're by no means done.
It was very quickly through them as well. Yeah,
okay, so what are you thinking at this point?
The second one that I said was a difference from the first one.
Sure.
I don't know if I said that on camera or not.
I think you did.
I think I might have. I said it didn't smell like Brown-Forman. Now it does, and it definitely tasted like Brown-Forman to me. And I think I'm really liking the second one.
That's interesting.
Yeah, for some reason, again, first whiskey of the day, I smelt this one, then smelt that one. They seemed very different, but then going back through it, it definitely changed.
Great.
So I don't know if that was just a little air getting in there or whatever, but I don't have really a preference on where I'm leaning so far, but I'm interested in this second one.
Yeah, I kind of have one that I thought may be my favorite, but it's first time through, and so I'm gonna go back through them the other way.
Okay.
And then we'll see how they line up.
And again, a great purpose in blinding these, I would have been fine doing them just objectively next to each other and saying, yes, I think this is as good a quality. And these are obviously as good a quality as this. But I've always felt like the Early Times just maybe has a little something slightly different that I like.
And And this is, let's say, $25. This is maybe $30. This is close to 60.
Yeah.
And that, if you know that kind of pushes you in one direction.
The early times is actually closer to 25 as well.
Oh, wow.
But and it's a liter too. So that also factors in.
Yeah.
But I have always thought that early times and Old Forester 100 are definitely very, very similar to one another.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go drink these from left to right now, my left to right, drink them the opposite direction.
Okay.
And yeah, we'll be back in a second. Okay, are you ready to call it?
So I have an order.
Okay, I have an order as well.
Okay, so here's what I would like to do at this point.
Okay.
I would like to pull in mystery bottle number 4. I don't know what number it is, but.
Okay. I thought you were going to challenge me in my Brown Foreman Truffle Pig status and make me guess if one of these is not Brown Foreman.
Well, at this
Which
point,
I think I would like to do, actually.
You sure you don't want to bring it in now, knowing what it is, and then you go through and have to pick? Because it's somewhere in one of your glasses.
I think glass, so this is glass number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4.
Okay.
I feel like glass number 1, and I don't know if this is because it was the first one I tasted, first one I smelled, seems a little different.
Okay.
At the beginning, I said glass number 2 did, but as I went through them, that kind of settled in. Glass number 2, I like the best. Now, it's interesting when you're doing a blind that has one of your favorite bourbons.
Yes.
Because you want it to win. In this case, best case scenario, it comes in dead last.
Because it no longer exists.
Right.
And so you're looking for a suitable replacement.
Yes, I'm looking for this to be the winner. You know,
oh, the cheapest
it would be
and
great,
most available. Yeah, that would be
But to be
ideal.
honest, I don't know which is which. I feel like glass number 1 is a little bit different than the other 3, and I could be totally off on that. The other thing is, they're all 100 proof. We did drink back and forth through them a bit fast, but I feel like number 2 is the clear winner for me, but clear winner meaning just barely.
I think they're all very close.
I didn't waffle on that one. I picked that one right away. I was like, I think I just like, there's something nice little cherry note to that I like.
Okay. So you've explained where you're at.
Again, not a bad bourbon on here. These are all fantastic.
I really think we should pull out the bottle before we name them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So here we go. You ready?
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm ready. Let's see what happens here. Just gonna be beclowned on the World Wide Web for all to see. This is gonna be Woodford. Oh, Statesman, okay. Nice, that was a good call.
So 95 proof, we don't know the age, but it is kind of reasonably well aged, I think.
I would imagine it's probably decent, yeah.
It is a little on the more expensive side. It's in price-wise more comparable to this.
Right.
$55-ish, 95 proof, decently aged.
I really like Statesman.
And I really liked it as well.
Here's something this is what's racing through my mind. Okay. I said I felt like this one was the outlier. Mm-hmm. Statesman is one that I've always felt was a tad different, and I've said that in reviews. I have also said that Statesman has a fantastic cherry note, which is also what I said on this one. So I don't know, but I would not be shocked if this one was the Statesman, but at this point, I mean, this one, just for some reason, this one came across a little bit different.
Okay, so why don't you go ahead and grab the paper and pen and turn it over. That won't tell you anything by knowing that.
Right. So either way, I could be dead wrong on this because...
So if you want to grab the pen, that way we can record what each one of us picks. Do you want to pick first or do you want me to pick?
So I'm going to go, I went last with this one, just because there was something that I felt was just slightly different about it.
Okay.
These are all so good.
Yeah, and they're very, very similar.
Maybe it was the proof, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because it could be 95 proof versus 100, you're probably not going to notice that much.
Okay, so obviously since this is about you and your love of early times, I'm going to go first, that way the final pick will be you. My fourth place, and these are all very, very, very close, is...
Number 4, Old Forester 100.
OF 100. So,
okay, so
I will do 4 for me. Your fourth place. Is that a 1?
1897.
Wow.
Interesting.
Huh. Now,
yeah, this one just came across as a little bit different.
Admittedly, this bottle has probably been open for 3 years.
Okay.
Maybe that makes a tiny bit of difference.
I mean, of course, now that I know what it is, I drink it, it's like, oh, it's Old Forester-y.
Yeah.
There was definitely a difference from the number 1 to the number 2, because again, I said the number 2 didn't smell like Old Forester, but then after coming back to it, yeah, totally. Did.
Okay.
That's interesting, though. I would have expected the outlier to be Statesman, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
Out of all four of these.
It's the lowest proof. Okay, so my third place is this guy.
We have number 2, Early Times. So which one? Mine was number 1, right? I'm going to actually write the name of the bourbon.
Okay.
And what was your 4th place?
OF 100.
Okay. And my 4th place was 1897. Okay.
Gotcha.
So my number 2...
your third place.
3rd place, yeah. Second one. These were...
Yep, they're close.
These were all so close. It was impossible to choose.
We tried to write
4. Old Forester 100. Okay, interesting. All right. Well, I know that it's in the top 2, which is a bummer. I wanted it to be last.
So now, at this point, I'm not going to pick the second place. I'm going to go with the winner. So skip a line. Well, and so I'm going to go this. This is my favorite out of this flight.
Okay.
And so by deduction, you can figure out what my number 2 is. That's my favorite, though.
Your favorite was 1897. You have expensive taste.
Okay.
All right.
Your favorite.
I'm going to be upset if this is a 2 on the bottom. Look at that.
I can't read it.
That is a number 2, Early Times Bottled in Bond. Okay. That was my clear winner. Like, not that it was so head and shoulders above everything else, but I put that in front first and never waffled on it for the rest of the flight, drinking it back and forth. And I moved these around quite a bit.
So,
no, so Early Times is my number 1.
Well, yeah, but I'm just listing them down here. So that's your 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so what my number 2 would have been the Statesman.
Statesman.
Okay, interesting.
And my number 2 is Statesman.
This is going to be the best blend ever. What is it about this 1897 that came across as weird to me? Well, not weird, but it felt like there was definitely a difference, and I wouldn't have been, me being a Brown-Forman truffle pig, I was waffling as to whether or not this was a Brown-Forman product.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have been surprised either way, but I was kind of surprised in the sense that I was questioning it so much.
My assumption, and I'm totally guessing here, is this is higher age to justify the higher price, but it's in there with their Whiskey Rogue.
I think the Early Times Bottle Bond is clearly better than the 1897.
Okay. Well, good news, you can no longer buy it, and so I do have one open bottle. It does sell for $37,000.
Okay, is that what that is? Okay. I was wondering what the secondary was on that. Greg is selling Early Times Bottled and Bond to me on the secondary. That being said, here's what I need to do. I'm going to take these out of the mix, and I'm going to go Old Forester 100, even though this is my, 3rd place?
Yeah.
Versus Early Times. The 2 budget pours.
Okay, so my 4th place versus, you want Early Times, so that's this one. No, this one.
Truth be told, the original idea for this video was to just be these 2, the Old Forester 100 and the Early Times. Yeah, and we thought, well, let's do a flight, make it fun. I'm glad we did. It was interesting. It was fun to do that. And it really just puts the Early Times Bottle Bond even higher on a pedestal because it beat the 2 more expensive ones.
It's a good thing they sold it for...
But yeah, I really want to see, can this Old Forester 100 be a replacement for Early Times? The answer is no to a certain degree because, again, I picked this as my winner the first round and never waffled on it once. It's also won multiple... It did not win the proof points.
It didn't win, yeah, but it compared to some a little bit higher stuff. Higher age.
I think it came in second and it lost to Four Roses Single Barrel.
Oh, was it?
It's 100 proof. Lot B was in the 90.
Oh, okay. I have to tell you, like, Early Times versus Statesman, I'm really impressed with Statesman. So, instead of your original theory of can you replace it with the 100, which is darn good and darn close.
Yeah.
Statesman is a little different, but also really good.
I'm inclined to agree with you. I think Statesman and Early Times Bottle and Bond are closer.
Now,
Old Forester 100 is fantastic.
Yeah, price is a little crazy.
25. But yeah, I would agree with you. So this is the Statesman here on my left.
Yeah, Statesman just has a little bit of a toffee and a sweetness that I'm not getting on the regular OF 100.
Yeah, it is. It's a little sweeter, and it does have a little bit of that cherry note that I like on the early times bottled in bond.
I think that's what I've learned out of this is I really like Statesman.
We've reviewed that favorably.
And I'm guessing this is just barrel selection, right? It's 95 proof. They watered it down some.
Yeah.
But good barrels and maybe a little bit more age.
Plenty of people that don't like Statesman, though.
Yeah,
that
that's
kind
crazy.
of give it a bad rap because it was made for a movie. It seems like gimmicky or whatever, but I think it's a great bourbon.
Well, I've never seen that movie. I don't even know what
haven't
movie
either.
it's referencing or referenced in and so on. So it doesn't matter.
All right. Well,
I like it. It is probably overpriced though, and this is a really close, barely another choice. This one's a little bit expensive, but it's kind of cool.
yeah.
No longer available. Sad.
I just don't get it. Why would you not sell this nationwide? But how? I don't know.
They have so many brands. You can get. Does Woodford make a bottle and bond?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, they don't. I mean, they've got like their special releases, like their batch proof and stuff like that. It'd be interesting to put Woodford in this flight, but of course they're at 90.4.
I considered it. Yeah, it was 90.4.
I was kind of wondering if that was the mystery bottle.
Yeah.
Well, so you've got options here, folks. You can either tune out right now, and now that you have the answer to the question,
The mystery.
to the flight, but we are going to do what we always do on this channel, which is the Betty Walker special. We got to do the blend.
We have got to do the blend.
And sometimes when we get to the blend portion of the video, we borderline consider it bonus content. So if you tune out right now, thanks for watching this far.
You may go now.
Anyway, let's get to the blend here. And this is going to make a large blend because Greg poured 3-ounce pours.
I knew that we would go back and forth with the tasting several times, and I actually got to it was the early times I discovered.
Yeah, that's a solid, like, regular 2-ounce pour of whiskey still left in there. So we probably won't finish this on the...
Yeah,
even more.
I'm not going to kill it. Yeah, I was trying to...
We'll probably just maybe drink this on the porch.
Yeah,
after
this will be
video,
on the porch later.
But let's do the blend. These are pretty close to equal parts.
Pretty close. 50-50, 50-50.
Do you know what it smells like? Dusty Old Forester.
It does.
It's got a
It's
dusty
got a
quality
really
to it.
Nice, kind of like popcorny kind of note.
There's something interesting, kind of drying about it. It's got all the goodness of Old Forester. And Brown Foreman, I guess.
So you know that really great smell when it's about to rain and starts to rain and you get the dust kind of bouncing off the ground? Mm-hmm. There's almost that, kind of a rain kind of falling. Like it's like a dusty rickhouse kind of
Yeah, for sure.
influence.
Yeah, dusty. I don't know why blending the four of these would have created a
And
dusty
maybe leather.
profile, but
It's got it. You know, if Old Forester or Brown Foreman, I guess, if they're not doing this blend right now, which they probably never have, you know, they're missing out. And they can't now that they sold the line.
honestly, this is really depressing me.
Yeah, you should feel bad.
This has been my number one. And here's the thing. Again, this is kind of, we're into bonus content here, so we can ramble a little bit.
Yeah, feel free
When
to.
this did not take first place in proof points, it took
it
second
crushed you.
place.
We
Well,
did
no.
not film for months.
Truth be
Kidding,
told,
kidding.
Truth be told, I knew what it was. I could tell. Brown Foreman Truffle Pig.
Yeah.
I picked the Four Roses because it came across. I didn't want my favorite bourbon to win just because it was my favorite bourbon. The Four Roses came across as a much more premium bourbon experience, so I felt that one got, just had a little more viscosity. It came across as like, sometimes you can just tell from one bourbon to another. This one, sometimes you can tell maybe is a little bit more of a premium brand, a little more expensive, a little more aged or whatever. And Four Roses Single Barrel is a fantastic bourbon.
Single Barrel Select is amazing. Or Single Barrel.
Single Barrel,
just
yeah.
A Single Barrel.
And so it came down to those two as like, I know this is the early times, but if I'm being objective to the audience, I feel like this is the more premium bourbon experience. Maybe not even the best. The tastes were different, but I would say equally as good.
Sure.
But the Four Roses just kind of had like that viscosity a little bit more. And so I gave it to, I was honest and I gave it to the Four Roses, but that's the only reason. But this came in second.
Okay. So I have to tell you, going through all of these, truth be told, we've done a bunch of really expensive bourbons recently for reviews. And some really, really quality unicorny kind of stuff that some you've seen, some reviews haven't been released yet, but whatever. That's the one thing missing is a little bit like the mouthfeel experience. They taste great. It's got great taste, good spice, good barrel char. but the finish and I don't know, some of the real nuance, the real subtle things, that's what's missing.
I've come to the conclusion in our William LaRue Weller video, this kind of solidified that, is that premium bourbon experience really comes down a lot to like the thickness and the mouthfeel and the viscosity.
It's the experience,
and oiliness.
not just the flavor.
Yeah, and by experience, for me anyway, what I mean by that is that it's like it. I said after the video, and I didn't say this on camera because I didn't think of it until afterwards, but it's kind of like the difference between making hot chocolate with milk versus water. Like you can put
say that.
You can put the Swiss Miss packet in the water and it tastes great, or you can like heat up you do it with milk and it gets at like it's like the whole milk versus the skim milk in making like a good hot chocolate or something, where it's just a little thinner, but you get that thicker sort of thing, and that's that viscosity and oiliness.
And I responded to his comment saying, what kind of monster uses milk? I have never in my life made hot chocolate with milk.
Well, I mean, I think, yeah.
It has powdered milk in it.
Okay,
Anyway, back to the bourbon.
let me hit you with this. It's kind of like, have you had Yoo-Hoo?
I don't think I have. I'm aware.
Yoo-Hoo
I know
is
what
basically chocolate milk, but made with water instead of milk.
Seriously?
Yeah, kind of. It's like much thinner.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had it.
Yeah, it's still good though. I still do like some Yoo-Hoo. By the way, just if you're still watching, thank you for sticking it out past the regular point of the video into the bonus content. But can you tell that we sampled 100 proof bourbons one after another very rapidly, more than once at this point?
Yeah.
I certainly can.
Yeah, no kidding.
But yeah, anyway, so in closing, yeah, that was kind of I agree with what you're saying. Like it is missing that premium bourbon, but the Early Times is not trying to be a premium bourbon.
It's
and
not.
I think it really competes fairly well considering.
I think it owns the lower, like, everyday bourbon thing. It's genuinely great.
But for me, it owns the double the price bourbons in a lot of categories.
It comes really close. I think it like, well, other than the fact that it no longer exists, other than that.
I just can't believe that. It's like, what's next? Are they going to get rid of Wild Turkey 101? I mean, honestly, to me, like that, this is just as beloved, you know, and Wild Turkey 101 is a beloved bourbon. For me, it is, for sure. I put this absolutely
Well, for you, yeah, who knows?
on par with as the best budget bourbons ever created. Wild Turkey 101 in this, hands down.
I feel like Wild Turkey, well, I don't know if I can say that. I feel like more people know that Wild Turkey is a secret, sleeper, great bourbon.
Anyone who's into bourbon knows that. I've noticed people just getting into bourbon
Oh, yeah, sure.
don't know that.
Like, it took me a long time to know that there was a Wild Turkey fan club / following.
Oh, yeah. And how good it actually is once
exactly.
you start actually comparing it.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we should wrap this up. Thank you for sticking around for the bonus content. This has been a flight of Brown-Forman products, and much to my dismay, my favorite bourbon winning, because it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
All right, let's end this before this just rambles on to another half hour. Thank you for watching. This has been a flight of Brown-Forman products on the Bourbon Note. I'm Ben.
I'm Greg. Till next time. See you next time.